So, welcome everybody. My name is Joe Workman, and this is our weekly weavercast that we do every Wednesday afternoon. And we go over all things kind of web related. Go over a lot of stuff, especially with the Rapid Weaver twist. As you know, you've probably heard me from the Rapid Weaver world. A lot of my visitors are from there. And we basically go review a lot of things about how to develop new websites, some new web technologies, how to, test and develop websites. And a lot of times I do show and demonstrate things with a Rapid Weaver twist to them. So in today's show, we're going to be going over a new product, or it's actually an old product with a new update. And it sparked my interest because of a recent bundle. There's a new bundle out right now called from Mac Legion that contains a bunch of really great apps. I actually, if you haven't watched it, I did a full-blown webcast, I believe a week and a half ago, on all the bundles that are going on right now and my thoughts and reviews of them. And this Mac Legion bundle, which ends 8 days from today, contains an app called Zest. And Zest has traditionally been a Flash-based slideshow and media generator for web pages. Okay, it does have some nice, some Rapid Weaver integrations. However, it is all Flash-based. So I've always kind of leaned away from it because, us Mac people, we like to stick with our guns, try not to use Flash, especially since, it doesn't work on iOS devices. And it doesn't work very well in Android devices either, right? Android supports it, but it definitely kills battery life from what I've been told and heard. And the up-and-coming Windows 8 phone, from what I understand, is ditching Flash as well. So with all these reasons, we definitely don't want to use Flash, right? That's pretty obvious, okay? So when I saw Zest in this bundle, I was like, Zest, have it, been there, done that. But what I didn't notice was that Zest has recently released version 3. And version 3 of this app contains full HTML5 support, which is pretty mind-blowing. So Zest Pro, which is a part of this bundle now, has full HTML5 support. So you can have your cool Zest little widgets and slideshows and whatnot and still have them work on your iOS devices, okay? And then, of course, it will fall back to Flash when it can. So in Firefox and Internet Explorer and things of that nature, it will fall back to its Flash counterpart, but use HTML5 when it can, okay, or when it's configured to. So let's go ahead and dive into Zest. The second part of this today, we're gonna go over a network link conditioner and quickly show you how you can use this great new tool in Lion to really help you test your speed of your websites on various networks. How's it going to look on a dial-up connection? How's it going to look on someone's 3G phone? Things of that nature. So we're going to dive into that at the second part of this webcast. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Zest. I now have Zest open. And as you see, when you open up Zest, you just have an image drop area. Now, I've already configured some images here. I'm just going to select, and you basically just drag and drop your images directly into Zest, okay? So as you see here, with Zest, I simply drug my images in, and it automatically selected a default theme, and it started, generating my slideshows for me. I mean, couldn't be simpler, right? Now you can go ahead and edit your titles and your captions. So you could say, this is, fighting or samurai training. How about that? Samurai training. Okay. So I've added some titles and things. And as you see, if I click on reload, it now has my new titles in here. So, as you drag in media, okay, You can go in here. You can also add URLs so that if a particular image is clicked, then everything will work perfectly for you. Okay. So if an image is clicked, the URL will then be launched. It basically turns the images into links. Okay, so that's very nice. Of course, I only changed the title. You also have kind of some subtitles here, which by default is the date. Okay, but you can also change that as well. You can add your own media, as much media as you want, and it will cycle through all of those for you. Okay. You can also add your own audio files. Now, from my limited testing so far of this version, audio support is limited to the Flash based players. Okay, so your audio that you've selected will only work on Flash. Okay, so when HTML5 is used in particular browsers, the audio will not work unless it's Flash. Okay. So this kind of goes into the media. Very simple. You can just drag and drop your images into here, edit your titles, edit your subtitles, add URLs, things of that nature. I guess you can also do a few more things. You can actually go ahead and crop images. So if you notice that I click on the little crop button, so inside the inspector for every single image, there is a few buttons here. The top one is to delete. This middle one here is kind of to preview that in preview, okay? And the last one is crop. And this is where you can crop, you can kind of add backgrounds, you can do a few, very little, mostly cropping. So I'm going to leave things as it was by default, but you can definitely, as you see, it does crop the original image to create everything as a square, and you can modify that here, okay? So let's go ahead in the next tab. In the inspector, we have our themes. Okay. Now, if you notice the themes, there are several tabs under here. The first is all. The second tab is Flash only themes. Okay. And the final tab is HTML. So these are themes that support HTML5 and will fall back to Flash when necessary. Okay. There are several themes that do not support HTML5. So, make sure that you pick a theme. If you want to make sure you're using HTML5, that you go to this HTML tab and you make sure that it has this little 5 up here in the corner. Let's cycle through some of these themes to kind of see what's available in HTML5. So as you pick a theme, you'll see that they dynamically change over here in the browser. So that if you keep clicking through your themes, you can see exactly what everything is. Okay, so you have cover flow. We have kind of a fading grid, which images will display as a grid and kind of fade out, fade in, things of that nature. Some falling stripes. Okay, falling stripes 2. Kind of different effects. Again, these are pretty amazing because all of these are HTML5 and they are not Flash. Okay, although again, they will have Flash fallbacks for browsers that don't support it. Okay, gallery. Now this is an interesting one because if you're familiar with some of my Stacks plugins, you'll be able to see that this is basically the scroll stack. I have a scroll stack that basically does this same exact functionality as this theme, Banner Zest theme here. So that's kind of cool. But again, available in Banner Zest. Multi-flip, which is kind of cool. Let's see. Quadrado. We have Quadrado, which does what? Okay, we have a simple 3D wall, which kind of fades out and fades in. Very nice. Slideshow. Again, just a simple slideshow. Snake grid. Unfold. And then last but not least, the water apparition. So this is actually a really nice one. I'm pretty amazed that this one actually works well in HTML5. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. So now that we've kind of reviewed some of these themes, I'm going to go ahead and select a particular theme to play with for actually developing and pushing out and distributing from our RapidWeaver website. So I'm going to go ahead and select this bouncy theme. So we have a bouncy theme. I have all of my my images selected. So now that we've chosen a theme, I'm going to go ahead and let's go into settings. Okay. Now I'm not going to go through all of the settings, but every single theme here has settings. Okay, where you can really trick out everything, define the colors, the background color, the borders, the heights of each bars, the actual size of the widget itself, borders, gradients. How do you want to style the titles? How do you want to style the subtitles? Right? Speeds for animations. Various filters for shadows and things of that nature. Okay, I'm not going to dive through and go through each of these, but I'm sure all of you are able to actually play around with these yourselves, so that you can definitely customize this as much as you want. Okay. You can also save your presets if you have if you get a theme particularly how you like it and you want to save it for the future. You can go ahead and save that preset here. Okay. And finally, the final tab is publish. Okay. So this is what we're going to be going into now. We want to actually publish this site, okay, or this particular widget to our website. Okay. So to do that, you're going to have to actually configure your web server. So if you go into server and then go down to edit server list, you can go ahead and add and configure all of your login information. I've already done that. So I'm going to go ahead and select my FTP server. Okay. Then you have also export functions. So, do you want to export high quality JPEGs? Where do you want this media to show up? Do you want to be in the same window? You can actually have, with the pro version of Banner Zest, you can have it show up if you click on any images, that will open those images in a light box or a shadow box if you like. I'm going to leave that as none. Okay. You can also, for Flash, you can merge everything into a single SWF file or have the SWF file and all the images separate. Apparently, if you have one large file, it's of course going to cause, longer download times. So, I'm not an expert, but I would probably recommend leaving that unchecked. Okay. So once you have all that set, go ahead and click on the publish button and it will publish to your, now I've already tested earlier today. So, basically what I recommend you do is you create a folder on your web server. Okay, I'm going to cancel this. Create a folder on your web server. So this is the folder. So I said we select the server here. Then there's a subfolder. Okay. Now, if you click on that, it's going to automatically it's going to FTP into your server and give you a list of folders. I've created a bzest folder on my web server that I want to publish to. So you select that. Then you simply click on the publish button and it's going to say, I found data in here. Do we want to replace? And yes, I want to replace. So it's going ahead and it's currently uploading all of these files to my web server. And we're done. Okay. Now you can go ahead and say show banner, and it will, open up that particular banner on your website for you. Okay. So here's our banner. Okay. So next, let's go ahead and actually work on getting this into RapidWeaver. So we want to actually have this inside of our RapidWeaver site. So let's go ahead and do that. So I have my RapidWeaver file here. And essentially, I'm going to show you how to do this on a Stacks page. But you can literally do this, in a style text page or an HTML page, things of that nature. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to drag out an HTML stack. We actually going to want to bring back Banner Zest Pro. and we're going to want to go show HTML. And then as you see here, basically for all of these, you see the RapidWeaver logo up here on the top. It gives you some HTML code that you can just paste directly into RapidWeaver. Basically, you're just going to click this copy this code button. And now we can get out of Banner Zest here and paste that code directly into RapidWeaver. Okay. And if we preview this here, we notice that we have our beautiful Banner Zest banner that we had created inside Banner Zest. Okay. And if we go ahead and publish this, so I'm gonna publish this site. Okay, so our site is now published. So let's go ahead and view this. So here we go. Our Banner Zest banner is loaded onto our website, and all we had to do is copy and paste some code from Banner Zest directly into my RapidWeaver page. Now you might think because I'm in Safari that this is going to show up in HTML5. Okay, that is exactly what I had expected. However, oh, actually, look at that. It is. I had ran some tests earlier today, and it wasn't. I must have done something different. But as you see, bam, we have full-blown HTML5 inside Safari. Okay. Now, if we want to preview this inside Firefox, so it has gone ahead and used a different slideshow. Maybe the HTML5, that could be it as well. So the HTML5 that we're seeing here inside RapidWeaver, inside Safari, is properly working. However, inside Firefox, it's defaulted down to a more simpler slideshow. Very interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and try something new. So if I go back into Banner Zest, let's go ahead and change our theme to so here we go. Okay. Look, I'm still learning as well. So we have here, we have the alternate, which is what we were seeing in Firefox, and then the HTML5 theme that we were seeing here. Okay. So this is where you can define three different things. I'm seeing this now. Okay, so we have I didn't define a Flash slideshow. Okay. So for Flash slideshow, we want to show this particular thing. Okay, for HTML5, you go and you add what we want to use for HTML5, and then our alternate for any other browsers that doesn't have Flash and or HTML5. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and publish. Let's publish that again. Let's go ahead and replace. If we go back into Safari, let's go ahead and reload. Okay, we now have the Flash based, which is what I was seeing earlier. So because we had defined a Flash based animation, what I've discovered is that it will use that Flash based animation in every way possible, so that you have it, the same look and feel across as many browsers as possible. Okay, now if we were to go into Firefox now and look, So if we were to look at this, there we go. If we were looking at this in Firefox now, we'll see that, we definitely have, you'll see that we definitely have Flash showing and working. However, we want to make sure that even though this is using Flash in both Firefox, it's also using it in Safari. Well, what about iOS? Okay, so if we bring up our iOS simulator, and I've reviewed this iOS simulator in past shows. So please check my podcast archive or my Vimeo webcast pages to view those. So let's go ahead and go into bring up our iOS simulator, and let's go into sandbox.joeworkman.net. And we'll see here that it has fallen back to our HTML5 version of this particular theme. So it works perfectly in all iOS devices. However, on all browsers that do support Flash, it attempts to use Flash first. So, that's really killer. I wish that it actually tried HTML5 first and then falled back to Flash. However, it seems to see whether or not Flash is enabled. If Flash is enabled on a particular browser, it then uses Flash. However, if Flash is not enabled, it'll then fall back to HTML5 or further back to the alternative. Okay, so I think this is it is acceptable. It's definitely better than not having Flash at all, or I'm only having Flash, not supporting anything. So this way, you can actually define what your website's going to look like on an iOS device, and have it look strikingly similar to what it looks like on the desktop. So I think this is great. I think it's a perfect use and a great update to Banner Zest. So again, if you're interested in Banner Zest, it would be awesome if go ahead and check out that great Mac Legion bundle that we saw. You have 8 days left to get to pick it up. For only $50 is for the bundle. After that, Banner Zest Pro is $130. So it's a little pricey. So if you like it, if you think it's great, you're gonna want to snatch that up now. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, and we're now gonna go over the second part of our screencast here. And we're going to review a new feature in Lion. And this is a network link conditioner. And it is a preference pane. So if you see here, if you go to System Preferences, there is a network link conditioner. Now, this network link conditioner does not get installed by default in Lion. Okay. Essentially, it does come with the developer tools. So I've praised the use of developer tools, basically Xcode, in the past, even for non-Mac or iPhone developers. Okay, there are a lot of really great developer-related tools, such as the iOS simulator that we saw just a few minutes ago, that all come with Xcode. So if you go to the Mac App Store, if you're a registered developer, you get Xcode and everything for free. If you're not, you can go to the App Store, and for, I believe it's only $5, you can pick up Xcode and all of these other great tools that come with it for only $5. Okay, so this network link conditioner gets installed with Xcode, and even then, you have to actually find it to enable it. So to find it, if you open up Finder, and then you go into your applications, and you find your utilities folder. Go ahead and find, where is utilities? Utilities. And inside here, you're going to find a folder called Network Link Conditioner. Okay. And inside there is a preference pane. Go ahead and double click on that, and it will install it. I already have it installed. Okay. And it will install that Network Link Conditioner for you. Now, this is a really simple tool. Essentially, you go ahead and let's go ahead and enable that. basically there's already a bunch of default profiles set up here for you. You can go ahead and say, I want to test 3G speed. So basically, you can test how your app or your website, okay, is going to react once your network is limited to a potential speed of 3G good connectivity. Okay, and you can see what that means. That means basically you'll get 850K down. Your upload is a maximum of 420K. Okay, if you can go kind of a worse 3G connection is 300 or 780K down, 330K up. Okay, and you can go even further down. You can go into the edge network, which is an even slower connection. And now I'm not going to turn it on because this is probably going to really degrade my network connectivity here for this webcast. But basically, you go ahead and select the connectivity that you want. Go ahead and turn it on. And once you've turned it on, it will then hijack your network connection and limit the bandwidth for your network connection to what you've defined. You can then go ahead and launch your application and or your website and see how fast your website will load with the reduced network speed. Now, you can also go ahead and define custom profiles. So if you click on this Manage Profiles button, you can see all of the profiles that are here, and then you can go ahead and add your own. I created one here for I call dial-up, which is basically the old 14.4K modems. You can limit those. Okay, so basically you define what your download speed is. Do you want how many packets? Percentage packet loss do you want? Okay, so potential. How much noise is on the line? How much latency are you gonna have? Here's your download link delay. So how long is it gonna take to actually ping your server and come back? Things of that nature. Okay, and again, you can define these links as kilobytes per second or megabytes per second. Okay, and then of course DNS delay. So how long is it gonna actually take to actually go ahead and substantiate your DNS reply? So that pretty much does it for the network link conditioner. It's a really simple tool. I think it's definitely useful and easy to use. But it's a great tool and it's free if you already have the developer tools installed. I think the developer tools are something really great that even web developer should have. Especially for the iOS simulator. And here's another gem in this network link conditioner. So that's really going to do it for today, guys. It's a short webcast. I wanted to kind of go in and hit some really two great points. And I hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can go ahead and check out my recorded podcasts in iTunes. And so please, if you enjoy our podcasts, if you like these, please go ahead and give us some great reviews in iTunes. I'd really appreciate it. Then we can, it'll kind of up our scores and even more people will get to enjoy these. So please go ahead and go into iTunes and give me a great review if you like it. Please send us more comments. Go to our contact page and send me comments on what you like, what you want to hear in future podcasts. So thank you very much, everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.